Jason Roy. So a change of balance really for England today. Making two changes that we mentioned, Salt and Topley in, but the extra batsman coming in means it slightly changes the balance of the side, Stuart.
Yeah, and I think that might be due to the chat in the change room yesterday. I'm sure would have been about the mindset and how much intent they will want to show, particularly in this power play in the first 6 overs. And the opening batters, knowing that they're going to bat deeper, can really be fearless and go for it.
No!
You were talking about the attitude you have to have as a bowler coming here before the game in that good piece in the middle with Owen Morgan. You're basically saying you've got to be a bit sanguine and accept that sometimes your best balls are going to disappear here.
Absolutely, you know. Average score in the Vitality Blast is 190. I'm sure we're going to see more than that today. And I'm sure towards the end we're going to see a lot more Yorkers because they just don't get the grip from the pitch. But there's also a flip to that for the batting group and the batters, that because you get a sense it's a great batting pitch and a really quick scoring ground, and you know that 200 or 220 could be a par score. Even as early as this, you face 3 dot balls. You can feel under pressure. You can feel a bit nervous. You can feel like you should be having an impact in the game already. It'll be interesting to see what Jason Roy does in these next couple of balls. Whether he just takes his time and feels a bit of patience. That's not normally his way. You can see a really big shot coming quite soon.
There's a very slow walk-off in the second game when Jason Roy got out cheaply. First runs, 2 of them through mid-wicket. Jason Roy gets his account up and running. So we expect Phil Salt to come in 4. I asked Joss Buttler at the toss and he said 4, but he said be mindful that it's a very fluid batting lineup in T20 cricket as well. Should ask you about the pub actually, given that we're in Nottingham. How's it doing?
Well, it's currently not trading. We suffered a terrible fire during the Trent Bridge Test match, actually, which has written off the building. But we've started the rebuilding process, which is exciting, and you know, looking forward to getting it back up and running as quickly as we can.
No!
Well, that's a pretty good first over with just a couple from it. England 2 for none. So Joss Buttler could do with a few today. He's a brilliant player, of course, one of the best in the world at this format. Hugely successful IPL. He's no novice to captaincy. He's done it before, but just standing here as England's official white ball captain now, and after a couple of low scores, he will feel a bit of pressure to get a score under his belt. Well, I'm looking forward to watching this young man bowl, Umran Malik, who looked rapid in the IPL and was touching upwards of, well, almost 160 kph consistently. Looks very strong and very fast through the air. And the keeper a fair way back, Rishabh Pant, a long way back for Umran Malik. Buttler treats his first ball to the fence. Now, Malik being so quick, of course, that can play to the advantage of batsmen as well. It can fly off the bat just as quickly.
Yeah, if you give width at this sort of pace, fly to the boundary. Joss Buttler didn't get all of that, but It's 4 all the way from the moment it left the outside half of his bat. I watched Umran Malik bowl in the warm-ups, actually. He's got amazing rotation through the crease, which generates huge pace. I mean, first ball at 88 miles an hour. Sometimes on really good pitches, pace isn't everything, and you can disappear, particularly square of the wicket.
Well, first ball was 88 miles an hour. That one looked in real time a touch quicker, 89. So he's already nudging the 90 miles an hour mark. Just you mentioned rotation. Just explain what you mean about his rotation through the crease.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a run-up that's full of tempo. It's not someone who's sprinting in. He's running at a nice rhythm. He's got short stride pattern, which means he's got good control. But his front shoulder really twists round, that allows him to gather momentum and pace through the crease and keep his front arm high and strong.
There's always just a little bit of electricity in the crowd when a genuinely fast bowler comes steaming in.
And he certainly runs in with energy, doesn't he? He brings that energy of the crowd with him. You're right, when you see a really fast bowler, you get drawn to wanting to watch. You get drawn to seeing the action and what could come. But I think with the energy in his run-up, he makes the crowd draw to exactly what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, one of the great sights in cricket, really, watching a genuinely fast bowler run in. So Jason Roy will be gathering himself. You've got to be on your mettle at this pace.
Yeah.
I think tactically from a batting group, when someone is bowling good pace and 91.3, really impressive pace, you have to just switch your mindset slightly to thinking that actually hitting down the ground from heavy length can be very difficult. Using your feet and meeting the ball and hitting the sight screen past the bowler is actually a really high risk option, but actually maybe giving yourself a bit of room, opening up the offside, maybe stepping across to the offside and flicking it over square leg and fine leg, or scooping, are more sensible options rather than trying to hit 91 miles an hour straight back past the bowler.
Or just pump it away over mid-wicket for 6, as Joss Buttler has done there. That is a magnificent shot, the first 6 of the day. It won't be the last.
It sounded magnificent from where we are, didn't it? It's right out the middle of the bat. Malik's bowled heavy length throughout this over, not gone full at all, and Buttler just sits back, rocks back, thumps that over straight mid-wicket. Won't be the biggest 6 we'll see today, but it's the first.
No, I reckon you'd get a generous spread on 6s at this ground, which is not the biggest. And that will be a wide. Bit slingy down the leg side. I suppose India's changes today, broadly in the bowling attack, you'd say it's a less strong bowling attack than they put out so far. Maybe that was one of the reasons why Rohit wanted to chase today. He was very keen to bat first in the first 2 games, but at the toss said he was keen on chasing today. And Buttler looking in tune at the start of his innings. He's rushed to 14 from just 5 balls, already hit 3 of them to the boundary, 19 for none.
So that's Umran Malik's first time he's opened the bowling in T20 cricket. I always think it's quite difficult to have your first experience of doing a skill on the international scene. You sort of feel like at this level you want to stick to your strengths and do what you've been doing for long periods of time. He's been really successful in the IPL. Wonder why they've given him the new ball in this T20.
Well, I suppose a lot of the changes that India have made, partly about looking at players, maybe the decision or the desire to chase, just giving them an opportunity to do something different as well. So instead of Chahal, we're going to have a look at Ravi Bishnoi, who's a wrist spinner as well. India have got so much strength in depth. It must be very difficult, A, to know what is the best team, and then for the players coming in, like Bishnoi today, you know that your opportunities might be thin on the ground. You have to take them when they come. So it's got quite an energetic run up to the crease, Ravi Bishnoi, and he pushes it through. Parkinson not playing today, but they'd really be at opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to pace. Bishnoi much more of the type that you see in T20 cricket, wrist spinners that generally push it through quite quickly.
Yeah, and it's a decent matchup against Jason Roy, isn't it? Jason Roy, if you can in this form, it looks slightly out of touch, doesn't he? But I always think spin early to him, particularly when he's searching for bat on ball, is a good option.
Push through quickly again. You recall in the Test series, Jack Leach was a spinner who'd completely cut down his run-up. He almost started by the umpire. Well, check Ravi Bishnoi here. It's not quite a seamer's run-up, but for a spinner, it's a lengthy run-up, and he gets a lot of energy and momentum into the crease. Excellent fielding, Ravindra Jadeja.
Yeah, it's certainly one of those grounds that as fielders you've got to try and dive on everything, because there's no point trying to chase it to the boundary. You just won't cut it off. Fielding coach should have had that discussion. If you get a chance, throw everything you've got at it. And that's brilliant fielding from Jadeja.
Just looking at Bishnoi's pace, which is nudging 60 miles an hour. If you think of Parkinson, he's probably in the mid-late 40s, so it's quite a significant change or different style of leg spin. Swept away in fine style by Jason Roy, who's just been searching and feeling, trying to find the middle of the bat. He does so now, 27 for none. Brighter start by England in this opening power play. No Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who's caused them so many problems with the new white kookaburra. He's on the sidelines today, and Jason Roy and Jos Buttler enjoying not having to face him. Buttler goes over the top. Didn't quite get it, and it will be pulled up by Rohit Sharma just in front of the boundary. England looking to be very aggressive, as they need to be in this opening power play. So Umran Malik replaced by Avish Khan, just the one over for Umran Malik.
And it's the right tactic to be overly aggressive right now, because you've got two very experienced opening batters against pretty inexperienced, particularly at the international level, bowlers. So you want to put as much pressure on, as possible as you can, on these bowlers.
And that beats Rishabh Pant, but only a single. Third man is quite fine, Dinesh Karthik. Yeah, there's a couple of things. England have the extra batsmen as well, so they bat deep, and they know at this ground and on this pitch they'll need a big score as well. Short fine leg just goes back to the boundary, and Dinesh Karthik comes up at third man inside the circle, maybe because they're worried about that scoot shot from Butler.
No.
He was set off like a rocket here in the IPL when he was so successful. He was often just giving himself a bit of a look at the start. It was in the second half of the power play that he really got to motor, but he's been aggressive from the off here.
He's not manufactured anything, has he? He got a short wide one that he punched away, and he got a full ball that he's driven through the offside.
Got him, dragged it on. Look of disappointment from Jos Buttler. He was going well, looked in good touch. A big score in the offing, but drags one onto his stumps.
Yeah, drop in pace from Avesh Khan. Slower ball that Jos Buttler has only managed to drag onto his leg stump. Looking to open up the other side. Little inside edge just to the bottom of base stump. Look of frustration from Jos Buttler, who looked in great form. Goes for 18 off only 9 balls. England are 31 for 1.
Staying over the wicket, too. That's middle and off, yeah.
England have lost their first wicket today, having won the toss. They opted to bat first. It looks a very good batting surface. Jos Buttler, who got a bit of a flyer, has just dragged one onto his stumps from Avesh Khan. And that brings Dawid Malan to the crease at number 3 to join Jason Roy. Be relieved to see the back of Butler, such a destructive player.
It's a clever bit of bowling. Looks like a leg cutter almost. It was seam up in his hand. So no cues in the run-up, but a leg cutter where he drags his fingers to the offside to create spin that should move away from Jos Buttler's bat. Buttler probably picked up on that, but because the pitch isn't dry and is really good, it's not turned.
Martin Saggers signalling a wide. He took the cue really from the square leg umpire, who is Alex Swarf.